Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Dr. Franco Taylor. I am the medical director for Sanki Global USA, and it is my job to bring to you great news, great news, great news, life-giving news. Let you know that not only does Sanki have the most powerful, one-of-a-kind, patented formulas on the planet for helping the body to heal itself, but it also wants you to have the information that you need in order to live a higher quality of life. So we talk to you more than just our formulas, more than just our company. We talk to you about life. We talk to you about information that will help you. Dr. Bahia Diaz, the gentleman that started all this, came up with the formulas, had a vision that in 2021 that he'd be able to bring information and health to hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people. And we're heading there, folks. So by the way, you got a couple of moments while I'm beginning, you can still call some folks up. You can text some people, email them, whatever you need to do and tell them to get on this call because this is going to be life-saving, life-saving. So great day, great day, great day. As my daughter, Dr. Helen Della Huse Clay, our CSMO, would like to say, it's a wonderful day to be alive. And so what we're going to talk to you about today, you can see our patented formulas on the screen, and I'll be talking about those. But before we get to those, we're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about, I guess I would call it herd mentality, okay? They're telling us that we need herd vaccines, okay? We need to deal with the herd, the group, as many as possible. But herd mentality simply means that you're following the crowd. And I wonder if following the crowd is always the best. Before we begin, I'm going to do something. I'm going to I'm going to actually read a poem from Robert Frost, one of the greatest prolific writers of all times, about the roads. Because today we're going to talk about roads that you can take that lead to health, roads that you can take that leads to disease. But we want to talk a little bit about roads. This poem is entitled The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So what is he saying? He's simply saying there are paths that you can take. Some lead to peace and wealth and riches, and others live to poverty, disease, and shame. But there's a road that's not taken. And guess which one he was saying? The one that is less traveled, the road less traveled, the road less taken, okay? But then there's a scripture that tells us broad is the way. Let's see if I can find the scripture. I've got my Bible right here beside me, and I'd like, if at all possible, to give you the scripture. Okay, I think it's Matthew 13. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So are you listening to me, folks? We're talking about roads. We're talking about the roads that most people take. Then we're talking about the roads that some people take. And guess what? Some people take the right road to wealth. Many take the well-trodden road. And 90% of the people, 95% of the people are broke or just barely making it, so to speak. But then there's that 1 to 5% who have all of the wealth. Are you listening? Have all of the wealth because they take a road that seldom any, they take the road less traveled. Okay, we want to say that the road less traveled. So let's take a look at something. We're going to talk about some roads, the 7 wrong roads. But before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in America. As Americans, we pride ourselves on the best fed nation on the earth, the wealthiest nation, most scientific, most medically advanced nation on the earth. But we are paying a high price for that privilege in needless disease, disability, and premature death. So what are we doing wrong? Americans are eating too much of nearly everything. Too much sugar, too much fat, too much cholesterol, and too much salt. We eat too many calories and we eat too often. We're gluttons, we're greedy. Are you listening to me? Such abundance has helped lay the foundation for coronary artery disease, stroke, high blood pressure, arthritis, colitis, appendicitis, all the itis family, okay? Adult onset diabetes, obesity, and several kinds of cancer. These diseases are responsible for 3 out of 4 deaths. Are y'all listening to me? 3 out of 4 deaths. Back in the 70s, they were responsible for maybe 1 out of 4. Now it's 3 out of 4. And we're smarter, we have more medicine, we have more tests that have been done to prove that this drug is better than that drug and so forth, so on. But why are we getting sicker and sicker? I'll tell you why. Because these diseases, these sicknesses are related to our lifestyle, especially what we eat. Disease from food, Dr. Franco? You must mean pesticides and preservatives in the food. No, that's not what we're saying. Surprisingly, pesticides and preservatives have very little to do. They're not the worst offenders. And we're going to talk about some of the most serious culprits. We're going to look at 7 wrong roads. All right, and we've got our formulas up there on the screen. So let's compare and let's look and see what we've got here. The number 1 wrong road to take is sugar. What did I say? Sugar. So I guess the question would be, well, let's just look. The National Research Council reports that refined sugars and sweeteners account for up to 20% of many people's daily calories. That means most people are taking in an average of 20% of their calories in what? Refined sugars and sweeteners. That's a lot of sugar, folks. Devoid of fiber, have no fiber, have no nutrients, empty calories. Refined sugars are just empty, or naked. They have nothing to offer you. They're naked calories. But because of their caloric density, they are well suited to promote obesity. They don't do what? They don't give you anything but taste good, sweet, sugary, syrupy, but they do set you up for obesity. So that's number 1, sugar. But let's look at our quinine. Our quinine does what? At night while you sleep, it burns up those refined sugars, no starches. It burns them up, turns them into immediate energy, and it burns them up in the stomach. They don't get into the bloodstream, so you wake up with what? Your waistline going down, your energy level picking up, your adult type 2 diabetes getting in check, A1C going down. Are y'all getting this? So yes, that's what we do. That herd mentality, everybody's eating sugar, Krispy Kreme donuts and Snicker bars and now and laters and Coca-Colas and all that good stuff. It's loaded with what? Refined sugar, white sugar. And it's one of the wrong roads, probably close to being the number 1 wrong road to take. But let's look at road number 2, refined foods. People used to think refinement was a good thing, you know. We thought that refined meant something good, okay? But actually, it got rid of the useless. I'm sorry, we thought it was bad because they thought it was getting rid of useless roughage. In other words, we didn't need the roughage is what they thought back then. Now we're learning how necessary fiber is in protecting us from certain cancers, stabilizing blood sugar, controlling weight, and preventing gastrointestinal problems, such as gallstones, hemorrhoids, diverticulitis, and constipation. See, we used to think that the roughage was bad for you. Now people are beginning to realize, as some always realize, that roughage is necessary in order for your food to be utilized, for the nutrition to be pulled out, and for the starches and sugars to go in methodically, systematically, and not all at one time to cause you to end up with diseases like sugar diabetes. Okay, so again, refined foods are probably one of the biggest problems that we've got going on. Sugar and then refined foods are causing all these sicknesses like gallstones, hemorrhoids, diverticulitis, and constipation. All these different types of bloating and burping and griping and flatulence and indigestion, reflux, all these can be attributed back to eating refined foods and sugars. Number three, you've got time still to get some folks on the line to get on this call so that they can hear the information that they need to hear. So along with our being able to go out and make a good living, putting these wonderful, one-of-a-kind formulas in people's hands, God will bless you. As you do that, yes, you will receive your compensation. The Bible says that the workman is worthy of his hire, worthy of his labor. So if you do good things will come back to you, and even in the guise of money, okay? But what we want to talk about is your being healthy, because it's no good if you have wealth, and not have health. So there's a poem that I designed years ago. It simply says, there was a man who squandered his health in search of great wealth, and all that got him was the money he could save. Then he had to give up all of his wealth trying to get back his lost health, and all that got him was a grave. And that's not Shakespeare. That's living and death if you're not careful. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So again, sugar was first road, wrong road. Refined foods is the second wrong road. And the third one is, guess what? Mr. Salt himself. Most Westerners consume in excess of 10 grams, which is 2 teaspoons of salt every single day. This is 10 times more than is actually needed and contributes prominently to high blood pressure, heart failure, and kidney disease. Are y'all listening? Salt in all kinds of forms. What you shake on the table and all the foods that you buy, all the foods that are preserved, a good deal of the preservatives are what? Salt. So when you see high salt content, you realize that that they're in a lot of cases being used as preservatives. So how many milligrams a day are they saying that you need? About 1,800 RDA, required daily amount, okay? So if you're having 200 or 300, say, grams of salt in something, don't let that bother you, as long as you don't do that every meal. In other words, if you got a couple hundred in this meal, a couple hundred in this meal, 400 in this meal, you're still only 800. And 1,800 is the minimum, okay? You go above that, you're in trouble. So I would stay somewhere, saying half between there. If you're counting your calories, counting your salt intake, your sugar intake, 1,800 is what they say you need in a day. But I'd say 400, 500, 600 is fine. And if you just look at the items that you're eating, and you see what you've got as far as salt is concerned in every meal, then you don't have to be afraid of one item that's got 300 grams of salt in it. If it's something that you like, just make sure that the rest of your day isn't filled with a high salt content every meal. So salt is that next monster, okay? And again, it contributes to high blood pressure, heart failure, and kidney disease. Folks, we're talking about the wrong roads. We talked in the beginning about taking the right road, and Robert Frost said that there was a road less taken. That's the one that he took, the one that everybody wasn't taking. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the key is, that's road 1, 2, and 3, sugar, refined foods, and salt. Road 4, wrong road 4 is fat. Most people, and by the way, I'm sorry, the salt, the belage assists in doing what? Pushing out of our bodies or flushing out of our bodies with like a daily shower when you take it. It helps to flush and purify the bloodstream, to dilute the body, because it helps what? For the body to hydrate and to help flush out some of this excess salt. Inner 7 has sodium naturally that you need, but because it also helps the body to hydrate, it helps the body to do what? Flush out the wrong kind of salt. You see, the salt that we have in our salt shakers and the salt that they use in most of these restaurants, that salt says this salt contains iodide, a necessary ingredient. But iodide is not necessary. Iodine is. There's a difference, folks. There's a difference. Okay? So, again, we've got formulas that helps the body to literally dissipate or remove excesses of the wrong kinds of sodium, which is in the form of that salt, that table salt. So that was 4 roads. Sugar was road number 1, wrong road. Refined foods was road number 2, wrong road. Salt is road number 3, wrong road. Now we're going to go to road number 4, wrong road. Wrong road number 4 is fat. Most people don't realize that they are consuming 2 to 3 times more fat, oil, and grease than is optimal for good health. I always say that we went from kernel to kernel when we gained all that weight. Back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even 50s, we were eating lots of kernel, as in corn. You're listening to me. Kernels of corn. We ate lots of vegetables, lots of grains and seeds and so forth. And we didn't have all these sicknesses like high blood diabetes, cancer, AIDS, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. 50 years ago, 60 years ago, it was unheard of in America for an individual, even obesity. Are y'all listening to me? But the more we went from kernel to kernel, we went from kernel corn to what? Kernels of corn to Colonel Sanders. I hope y'all are getting this, from kernel to kernel. And Colonel Sanders is all that chicken loaded with all that fat, all those French fries loaded with all that fat. Are you listening to me? Even the fried pies loaded with fat and sugar. So we went from kernel to kernel. We became a very, very obese nation. All right. So fat. Again, most people realize that they don't realize that they're consuming 2 to 3 times more fat, oil, and grease than they should have. As a result, blood vessels clog up. As a result, blood vessels clog up. As a result, blood vessels clog up. So you want to know what's clogging up your arteries? You want to know what's setting you up for high blood pressure, for strokes? You want to know what an aneurysm? You want to know what's setting you up for diabetes? It's all of this fat that you're literally consuming. And as a result, again, the blood vessels plug up, impotence set in, men, impotence sets in, okay? Hearts and brains clog up. And again, we're talking about cardiovascular accidents, as they call them, but cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, high blood, hypertension, however you want to do it, aneurysms, strokes, all those come from too much grease, too much cholesterol that's basically coming from what? All of these animal products that we're eating. A high-fat diet also contributes to obesity, overweight, adult diabetes, and certain cancers brought on by too much fat in the diet. Are y'all listening to me? We're talking wrong roads this morning. For those of you who just joined, I am Dr. Franco, your medical director of Sanki, and we're talking about wrong roads as opposed to right roads. Sugar, road number 1, that's a wrong road. Refined foods, road number 2, wrong road. Salt, road number 3, wrong road. Fat, road number 4, wrong road. The next wrong road, ooh boy, this is one of my sore spots, is protein. That's right, protein. A diet heavy in meat or animal flesh or animal byproducts, okay, provides more protein, fat, and cholesterol than the body can use. Westerners, listen to what I'm saying, Westerners, that's us, eat as much protein, eat twice as much protein than is recommended. Scientists now recognize that a more natural traditional diet containing less animal protein and much more less fat and cholesterol is essential to improved health and longevity. What are they saying? They're simply saying a plant-based diet is the best diet. I remember the guy named Bart Maverick, the Maverick brothers. You all may not be old enough to remember them, but they were cowboys. And Bart Maverick was quoted as saying that meat is real food for real people. Okay. But what they didn't say about it was that a year later, after he had done about a year's worth of those commercials saying that meat is real food for real people, that he had a quintuple bypass. That's a 5 bypass. All 5 of his major arteries shut down. He had a stroke and almost died. And it left him messed up for the rest of his life. But he, a year before and all that year, was bragging on commercials about meat being what? Real food for real people. Well, I guess heart attacks are real diseases for real people, because that's what he ended up with. He and many, 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 many more. But I'm just saying that to say to you that it's the animal products. They taste so good, so fulfilling. When you get finished, you're drunk. Remember, I've given you the scripture that says, blessed is the land when its princes eat for strength and not for drunkenness. You can eat those animal products till you actually feel drunk, like you've been drinking scotch. Well, that ought to tell you something, that it's not the right octane of fuel if it makes you weak and tired and dizzy and drunk. So protein, not what we need. We eat much, much more than we should have. Scientists now recognize again that a more natural, traditional diet containing less animal protein and more plant-based, okay, and as little fat and cholesterol as you can get, okay, is much, much better, and it improves your health and your longevity. And again, that's what our formulas are here for, the quinoa and so forth. So now we say that if you get the right kind of protein, which is what our Psyche does over on the left, it helps the body with, it has all natural protein, but it helps the body with an uptake of natural protein. And so then you don't have to eat all of the animal products, which are full of cholesterol, okay? So again, we've got formulas that help even when you're eating wrong, they help. But don't just keep eating wrong because we've got formulas that will help to burn off some of these fats, some of these starches, some of these sugars, to help remove them from the bloodstream, to help your body to throw them off. That's no reason to continue to do that which is not right. So that was road number 5, wrong road, which is protein. We've done sugar, refined foods, salt, fat, and we just finished protein. So we're going to go to road number 6, which is the beverages, the liquids that we drink. North Americans don't drink enough water. Instead, listen to me carefully, they don't drink enough water. Instead, they average several servings of soda pop, okay? Beer, coffee, tea, and sweet drinks. Since we're talking about drinks, I know this time of morning, it's kind of warm out there this morning. You all look a little thirsty. So I'm going to drink us some water in the form of Belage, okay? Man, that is so delicious. And it's naturally sweet. And the sweetener is a plant-based sweetener. Instead of sugar, it's sweetened with stevia, which comes from a plant, okay? That was delicious. Y'all feel better, don't you? Yeah, that was very, very, very quenching. So North Americans don't drink enough water. Instead, they average several servings of soda pop, beer, coffee, tea, and sweet drinks every day. Because most of these drinks are loaded with calories from sugar and alcohol, because remember, alcohol is a form of sugar. They can play havoc with your blood sugar levels and sabotage your weight control efforts. Caffeine, phosphates, and other chemicals found in beverages pose additional health risks. And again, these are so full of acid that they throw your body into an acid condition. And that's where your inner 7 and your Belage come in, because they help to give the body, to get the body back to a pH of 7.5. They help to get it to homeostasis. They help to balance it off. So again, you may do wrong. I'm not saying do it, but if you do, we have formulas that have been designed that have age on them, in some cases over 51 years, researched and developed 40 years, the Belage, before it was released. Are you listening to me? So it's not a new thing. It's not a fly-by-night measure. It's not something that was just thought of. It was well planned, over 50 years of planning to get you to the point where we've got these formulas that will help you, even if you go down one of these wrong roads. And the one we're talking about now is beverage. Again, the caffeine, the phosphates, and other chemicals found in beverages pose additional health threats, like blood diseases and or cancers. Are you listening? To cancer of the kidney, cancer of the liver, cancer of the gallbladder. These are cancers because those filters have to literally try to filter out all the caffeine and the theobromine and all that that's in the coffee and the tea and the sodas and all the acid that's in there. So again, thank God for Sanki and formulas that were thought over by a visionary many years ago that make them relevant still today. As with their nanotechnology, they're so minuscule that they can get straight through the blood-brain barrier, straight through the cell walls at the microcellular level and get in there where all that fat, sugar, starch is stored and where it's causing you wreaking all kind of havoc with your body. These formulas can get in and help to push it out of the body and help to replace it with natural things, okay? Putting more fiber in the body to help even those bad sugars to not dump all at one time, but then to help get them out of the body by burning them up as the quinui does. It burns them up at night while you sleep. In the morning, you wake up, you don't have all that sugar and all that refined starch and alcohol in your bloodstream, okay? Those are the Sanki products. So we've looked at 6 wrong roads. We're almost done. 6 wrong roads. We looked at sugar, refined foods, salt, fat, protein, all the beverages that we drink instead of water, okay? But again, when you're drinking our formulas, especially the Belage, the Inner 7, and the Quinu, the more of them that you drink, the more water you're getting in. Are you getting me? And the more water you get in, the more oxygen you're getting, because water is what? H2O. So you're drinking all this water, you're getting all this oxygen straight to the brain. So now your cognition picks up. You're able to make wise decisions and choices. And guess what? Your energy level goes up because you need oxygen for energy. So again, we're eating all of these no good foods. They're really not even foods, okay? But the number 7 is called snacks. There's a young lady on TV, and my wife sometimes just happens to look at her, okay, to see what's going on out here in this mad world. But she says, go grab a snack and come on back. So we're just a nation of snackers, folks, a nation of snackers. We're eating engineered taste sensations. That's right. We've got folks out here who are literally what we would call taste engineers. They literally engineer these foods with all kinds of chemicals to make them taste better. They actually put sugar in salt so that the salt will flow freely. Oh, I don't know if y'all hearing me. So you got the salt on this side, got the sugar on this side, and they're slapping your mouth both ways. As my stepfather used to say, it tastes so good, it'll make your tongue slap out your brains. Okay, there's a little something to laugh about, but the key is they drive our taste sensations up the wall. And we have to have these foods that are basically man-made, engineered, scientifically engineered to taste good and to just catalyze your taste buds. And these things are taking the place of real food. It has become fashionable for schools, daycare centers, even hospitals to make snacks readily available. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? The coffee break has become the standard at work, and snacks reign supreme after school and at home. Well-planned family meals are now the exception. Snack attacks disrupt digestion, overburden the stomach, and are a frequent cause of bloating and indigestion. And once you have bloating and indigestion, I call indigestion the father of all disease. After that comes constipation, which is the mother of all disease. Once you become constipated, you'll see that things like diabetes, obesity, and even cancer begin to creep into your life because of all that waste being stuck up in the body. So, is there anything safe to eat? Well, think about fruit. Think fruit when you think eat. almost endless variety, spectacular colors, and every imaginable texture and flavor you can think of. Go for vegetables, potatoes, and yams. Include some beans, legumes, all kinds of beans, lentils, chickpeas, scores of shapes, colors, and flavors. And don't forget about the grains, such as whole wheat, brown rice, and oats, which are the mainstay of a good diet and a gold mine of delectable and healthful foods. And add a few nuts to that every day, and you got it going on, folks. Eating a variety of whole plant foods will furnish all the fat, protein, fiber, and nutrients the body needs. And it's the right octane, so it'll be able to burn it without backfiring. It'll be able to burn it without slowing you down. You'll be able to burn it and get natural energy that you need. Okay. It also is ecologically sensible. It doesn't. It's sensitive to to nature. It doesn't cost that much for these, and it'll cut your food budget in half. Did you hear what I say? Eating lots of fresh fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables will actually cut your bill in half because the flesh of dead animals is very, very costly. Costly to buy, costly to get them fed and bred and raised, and all the good grains and so forth that are used to raise them could be used to feed Americans, to feed human beings. The best news is that this kind of dietary style or lifestyle helps to delay, arrest, and even reverse, and oftentimes prevent the onset of most Western killer diseases. Eating full fiber plant foods not only allows people to eat larger quantities of food without having to worry about weight gain, but also can promote optimum health and energy for a lifetime. So, what are we saying? Too much sugar, too many refined foods, too much salt, too much fat, too much protein, too much beverages, and too many snacks in our diet. Those are the 7 wrong roads. It's a deadly mix, folks. Only by eating less of these substances and eating more whole plant foods can we enjoy optimum health and energy. So, is there too much on our plate? Yes, we have fat teeth. Okay, we have a fat tooth. Americans eat too much fat, oil, grease, and they pay for it with heart attacks, strokes, obesity, and other diseases. So you can have salads, and you can put so many things on a salad. You can take the salad and put it inside of a baked potato. But the key is if you add blue cheese to the salad, you add an extra 500 calories to the salad, 500 that you don't need. So I'm going to give you something right now. I'm going to give you a recipe for a salad dressing. That's a super salad dressing. So get your pens out, write this down, write this down, write this down. This super salad dressing is basically 1/4 cup of water, should be pure water, distilled or purified water. 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. These should be granulated, not the silky powder, but granulated. 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup, or 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt or something of that nature. Again, 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/4 teaspoon, just a pinch of salt. Combine these all together, shake well, let them sit. It'll taste better and better and better as it sits, but shake it before pouring onto your salad and enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So we've talked about some roads, some wrong roads that we take as opposed to the better roads. The better roads is a plant-based diet, and then add to that the Sanki Fit formulas, the Balaj, the Inner 7, the Kunwi, and the Hasaki. And you got it going on. You can't lose with the stuff we use. We're going to open for some questions, but first of all, I want to end by simply saying, we talked about the gate that was wide that everybody went through, but he who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from calamity or trouble. That's Proverbs 21:23. And there's another scripture that simply says, whose end is destruction, whose God is his belly, and whose glory is their shame. Individuals have literally made their belly into their gods. And there's a scripture that simply says, We said it before. Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many enter therein. But the straight gate is very narrow, okay, and very straight, and it leads unto life, and a few there be that find it. So I'm going to end with this scripture, Romans 12, 1 and 2. I often sing this to you, not because I sing so well, but because it's got a meaning. Romans 12, 1 and 2 goes this way. I beseech ye therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 12, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. No. Not because, again, I sing so well, but that scripture is simply saying, don't be conformed to the world. Your body should be a living sacrifice to all those around you. They should be able to look at you and know that you're healthy, know that you know something, okay? And it says, don't be conformed to the world, but be ye renewed by the be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. In other words, don't be conformed to the crowd. If everybody else is going to Mickey D's and Captain D's and Win D's and one of D's or some of D's or all of these, that's meant to make you laugh. But if that's where they're going, maybe you need to go home and fix your own sack lunch and make you a salad and put that salad dressing on that we told you about. And again, this is Dr. Franco Taylor. Get with the person that invited you to this call. Find out more about these patented formulas that are one of a kind, that have taken over 50 years. They've been around over 50 years. Are you listening to me? Designed for over 40 years. Researched and developed before they were allowed to come out, with nanotechnology, cold fermentation, all the things that make for formulas that will assist your body in getting well. It doesn't matter who you are. These formulas work for 100% of the people, 100% of the time. I can say that with all belief because they assist God's body in doing what God intended for to do. And I know that he knew what he was doing. So if you believe in God, you got to believe in the Sanki formulas. So come on, get with us and get Sankified. Okay. If my dear daughter is still there, I know she's worn out because she's been helping with everybody on all the islands, work with all their openings, working with all of their tours that they've been doing, and launching all their business. She's been helping with all of that, and she's worn out. I know she is. If she's there,
I'm here.
Okay,
so we have a question in the chat that says, Dr. Franco, what can the system do to help someone in stage 3 or 4 kidney disease?
Okay. Well, again, remember that one of the things that the Balage does, and with the help of the Inner Seven, they help to balance the body, but they also help to flush out the system. And so one of the problems with the kidney disease, kidney damage, kidney failure, is simply that the kidney is so plugged up and so clogged up with waste. And in most cases, these wastes are acidic because they come from what? Animals and animal byproducts. And the kidney has to literally sift through, and the gallbladder too, to keep these from damaging the body. Well, sooner or later, the kidney gets clogged up. Once it's clogged up, it can't work. It just can't work like it's supposed to. It shuts down. So it needs some help. It needs some rest. So if you begin to drink water, okay, if you use these formulas to help flush out and cleanse the organs, including the kidney, that gives the kidney a rest. Then the kidney can possibly begin to strengthen and rebuild. All of God's organs will rebuild themselves. As a matter of fact, cells double in such a way that sloughs off old cells, that every year you basically get a new body. It's almost like a butterfly shedding its skin, okay? Or even a snake shedding its skin. I want to compare you to a snake, but you basically get a new body every year. So it doesn't matter whether you're sick or not, your body is trying to replenish. It's trying to get rid of all the waste and all the stuff that's been clogged up. It tries to redistribute and send good things to where they need to go so that the body can begin to heal, even in the case of kidney failure. The kidneys don't stop trying to heal simply because you feel bad. You stop putting in the stuff that caused the problem. You begin to put in things, foods and drinks like you're supposed to, and you use these formulas to help cleanse and strengthen and revitalize and reboot and give you the energy needed to digest and remove these poisons and toxins. And you can start getting some health back, even with a kidney that's been damaged.
Wow, thank you so much. I don't see any other questions in the chat. Oh, yep, there goes one. Hold on. When I take the Quinui Fire, my blood pressure goes up. When my sister drinks before going to bed at night, when she wakes up, her feet get heavy and hands, and it hurts from drinking the Quinui Fire. What could be the cause?
The cause could be that you're on so many heavy medicines that there might be a little conflict in there. So I would just, go to your doctor and talk with them and see, let them look at what's in there, because you're going to find that there's something else going on. It's not it can't be the quinui, because the quinui is burning up fats and sugars. It's burning up the fats that would clog up the arteries. So there's something else going on. And because the only thing you're doing different, as far as you know, is taking the quinui. That's what you're feeling. But again, it could be for your sister that we know that these formulas increase circulation. She might need to take the Belage too to help with the circulation, because it sounds like she's been clogged up for so long that the quinui is going in and trying to increase the circulation, but she's so clogged up that it's trying to push its way through, and she needs some help. She needs to stop eating all the animal products that are filling her blood up, and yours too, with the cholesterol, with the clogging mechanism. Most of these cloggings come from animal products. They come from cholesterol and grease, whether it's diabetes, whether it's high blood, whether it's arthritis. It's the clogging up of this atherosclerotic plaque that comes from all those added fats, those caramelized fats from eating animals and animal products, eggs and milk and so forth, so on. All this in flesh, loaded with cholesterol, clogs up the system, stops the circulation. Our formulas increase the circulation. If you're really clogged up for a day or two, you may feel a little heavy because it's trying to push its way through. Once it goes through, you'll be fine. We've had so many people with problems such as what you're speaking of that get better every day by using formulas that are plant-based, that are basically food. So there's nothing in them to cause you to have those serious problems. You just got to look at your body, see what else it is that you're doing, what you're doing differently. If you're eating any old kind of way because you think that drugs you're on or that these formulas are going to heal you, that's the problem. You're eating too much. As you heard me talk a little bit ago about we eat too much fat, too much protein, too much sugar, too much salt, and all these clog us up. And we think because we got a formula or because we got a drug that we can go in on and do our thing. But that's what the problem is in most cases, just an abundance of the things that we should not have. And I hope you listened to the talk today. I hope you took some notes and go back over and read it, and you'll see mainly what our problems are. 7 wrong roads. It was right there. It's right there in front of you. Hope you took notes. Hope you go back and review. Hope you see that God is trying to give you a lesson in life.
Can this product help with CHF and thyroid issues?
What is CHF?
I don't know. They just have CHF.
Don't put it in the text. Don't put it in the
Harry,
text.
can you say what CHF is, please? And then it says thyroid issues and then also fibroids.
Okay. Again, all these issues are excess. They're growths in the body. They're situations that are basically caused simply because of a backup of waste that comes from animal products, refined foods. And all this waste sets up a breeding ground for cancer, for AIDS. Clogging up, all this clogging up clogs up to set you up for high blood pressure, set you up for diabetes. Most of these diseases are because of a body that's full of toxic waste, morbid, putrid waste that just clogs up the system, clogs up the bones, clogs up the colon, clogs up the organs, and clogs up the arteries and veins. And once we clog up those organs that are, accompany those particular situations are going to clog up, and we're going to have problems there, like high blood pressure, like strokes, heart attacks, diabetes, obesity, arthritis. Basically, it's an eating thing, folks. It's an eating thing. Formulas will
the person with the pressure going up and stuff, she says, I eat no meat, I eat no grease, I don't eat milk, I don't eat salt, no protein. I'm a skinny person. So
I'd sure like to know what she's eating, because if she's got high blood pressure, then that means that she's awfully worried. She needs to stop worrying. Whatever it is putting that pressure on. And the key would be, when did she stop eating? She might not be eating it now, but she might have stopped a year ago, but she might have eaten it all of her life, like most people do. And so the arteries and veins take a while to unclog. And you can take the drugs again, and she says she's thin, but you can still eat a lot and be thin. She could be putting too much of whatever it is that she's eating wrong in. So all I can say is that our formulas are designed to open up the bloodstream. They're designed to flush out the poisons and toxins. They're designed to reboot the system by causing the mitochondria to beat, to create energy. This energy is used to help you sleep, to help you digest your food, to give you, the energy is just there to help the body do what it's supposed to do. That's the way our formulas are done. They've been proven to do that. We've got white paper that proves it. But again, they should help everyone. But in this case, if it's not helping, then she needs to get with the person that invited her to the call and give them some more info so they can know exactly what's going on. Because there's something deeper going on that we can't understand just over a phone call, because she's not giving us all the information that we would need to be able to possibly give her an idea of what's going on.
And CHF is congested heart failure, so they want to know what products what do we suggest for CHF, congested heart failure, thyroid issues, and fibroids. Which products?
Okay. You just said it.
All of the products.
Stop eating what's causing the problem. That's going to be the animal products, the byproducts, whether it's cheese, whether it's milk, whether it's, and then all the fried foods that we eat. You got to take those out, and that stops it right where it is. It won't continue to go forward. And then start using our formulas that help to burn up and digest and dissolve these fats and sugars out of the arteries and veins. Pressure will start going down. I don't care who it is. Yes, the formulas will help. If you're not eating anything with cholesterol in it, then you need formulas that are going to help pull cholesterol out. And that's what our formulas are designed to do. So this person that you're talking to, the person that called before that says she's skinny and not doing anything, then you need these. You may be skinny, but your arteries are fat. They're full of cholesterol over the years. And yes, the formulas will help to burn that out. When that happens, you'll watch your blood pressure go down naturally.
Regarding the fibroids and the thyroid issue, what products would we recommend for that?
Again, they've got to stop eating the foods that a fibroid is.
And what products would we recommend on top of changing their eating habits? What else could we recommend regarding the Sanki products? Which products would we?
Again, the Belage, the Inter7, and the Quinu always, because they're cleansing, strengthening, rebooting, helping the body to do what it needs to do, which would be to help even pull the excess of cholesterol and so forth out of the system. The fibroids, basically, the immune system is not able to destroy them or to eat them up like it should be. But once you boost the immune system, that gives it an opportunity to try to go in and begin to break down fibroids. We've seen fibroids disappear, go back where they came from when we changed our diets and began to put in formulas like the Belage, like the Quinu. And we've seen, because they boost the immune system, they pull the fat, and they pull the wastes out of the body, and the body begins to heal itself, even from fibroids, even from the cancers and so forth. Immune system strong, the body heals itself.
Someone's asking, can the Sanki products assist with nerve impingement issues?
Absolutely, same thing. The nerve that came because of clogging up of the system, including the nerves. The bone There could be some problems with bones, need a chiropractor, but the bones could be leaning on a nerve and causing a problem. But again, a complete change in diet and the Sanki formulas can't do anything but help, because you're giving the body all the things that it's missing. It's missing good nourishment. It's missing a system that will pull all the stuff out. And that's what it does. It gives good nourishment with the Psyche, and then it goes in and it cleanses all the organs. It helps to remove the waste from the body, and it reboots, retools the immune system. So the body has to heal if you give it those things.
Can this product help with uterine cancer, which has already spread to the lungs and liver?
All I can say is, if you're not using the formulas, then you're really not, you don't have anything going against it, except for maybe drugs. You might be taking chemo, radiation, or what have you. But we know they destroy just as many healthy tissue as they do bad tissue. But our formulas don't destroy, they help to heal. So yes, absolutely, they have to help. To what degree? Whether you'll wake up 30 days from now cancer-free, I can't say that. But when you're putting into the body what it's missing, which you haven't done, obviously, because you got cancer, when you're putting into the body the things that it needs, including these formulas, which have been proven to assist, again, in cleansing the body, rebuilding the immune system, strengthening the tissues, strengthening the organs, then the body will heal itself. These won't do it, but they will help the body to heal itself. Yes, 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 1,000 times yes. That's what they were designed to do, is to help the body heal itself. And I'm not talking just to that one person. I'm talking to all of you, including the distributors. You have formulas that are designed to heal the body from whatever is going on. The system is broken. These formulas help to repair it and allow it to work the way it was designed by God to work.
Someone asked about vertigo. If it can assist with vertigo.
There's a lot of things going on with vertigo. It could be diet, partially. It could be some damage. Person could have been hurt. But usually when the gut is off, it's going to mess with the brain, with the nerves, with the brain. And usually vertigo doesn't last that long. Now, if it continues on, then that means there might be something else. There are a couple other, there's a disease out there that's called, I want to say meninges, which is a little more serious. But the bottom line is, if you clean out the system, get the blood to flowing and circulating, which is one of the things that Crenu and the Inner 7 do, then of course the Crenu helps. I'm sorry, I meant the Belage and the Inner 7, but the Crenu does it too, because it burns off the excess fats and sugars, which allows the blood to circulate. So with all three of those, you increase circulation, and you watch even these matters begin to get better, because it's a circulation problem. You need better circulation.
Is the Belage good for hematoma? My grandson fell downstairs a few days ago and he sustained a big lump in his face and it's swollen. The doctors say it would go away in a few days. Will the Belage help?
Absolutely, because it increases circulation. It removes inflammation. The rosemary leaf and the allopurin, which is alluropine, I'm sorry, which is in the olive leaf, those two are anti-inflammatory. So if there's inflammation, which is causing the swelling and the pain, then these two will go in and help to assist in removing the inflammation, taking the pressure off, so that yes, even that can be made better. Once you take the swelling, inflammation out of the deal, the pain goes away and they feel better. Absolutely.
What products the skin condition called vitiligo? Vitiligo is what I'm asking. Sorry, I thought it was vertigo. I read it wrong. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah.
Vitiligo, basically melanin, okay? And again, the olive leaf and the rosemary are very, very crucial towards helping the body to secrete the hormone melanin, which helps with the color of the skin. I've watched individuals change their diet, and over a period of time, they begin to get the whitish begins to disappear and the color of their skin comes back. It's a lack of melanin. And these formulas have in them things that help the body to increase its output of melanin, serotonin. Those
I think
things
there's actually a video of a guy down in Mexico that it shows where his color, his skin color came back from it.
Came back. I've seen it many, many times. It takes a little time because it took a little time for it to get to where it is now. But the key is, if you give the body what it needs so that it can supply what is missing, it's not a drug that's missing, it's nutrition. And the right nutrition, along with the Sanki formulas, can assist the body and it can assist the hormones, those hormone secreting organs, to secrete enough melanin, in this case, to help the skin color come back. Absolutely. Then, of course, eating a good plant-based diet.
I think that's it. Let me see.
I was going to say we're down to 2-3 minutes. We should be pretty close.
Yeah, that was it. That's everybody. I think we covered everybody. Got everybody in.
Well, bottom line, folks, please, please, please listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. It's not formulas. It's not products. It's not drugs that are going to heal you. 90% of your healing is going to be you changing your diet and your lifestyle. Because these types of diseases, this is not malaria and so forth. We're talking about non-communicable diseases. These are diseases that you get that you can't pass on anybody else. You don't give anybody else your cancer or your diabetes or your heart problems. These are non-communicable. And most of the diseases that we hear about and the questions are asked about are diseases that we cause. We're digging our graves with a knife and a fork. We're eating foods and drinking liquids that are destroying the body. And once the body begins to break down, we have all these symptoms, okay? So what do? If you go up an alley and it's a dead end, you put the car in reverse and you turn around and you go back another way. So if that way is not working, go back to the original way, which is eating a plant-based diet, then taking these plant-based, one-of-a-kind formulas that were designed to give the body what it's missing so that it could heal itself. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. And give it 90 days and watch what's happening. You've done everything else, so why not try the Sanki way? Why not try? There's nothing in there to hurt you. Everything in there is designed to help heal the body, to help refurbish the body, help strengthen the body, help boost the immune system. Give it a try. You can't lose with the stuff we use. You've tried everything else, every drug, everything you've been told by the medical profession, not knocking that. They're doing what they know how to do. But then there's those of us who know about nutrition. The medical system doesn't, or they act like they don't because they don't even allow the doctors to really tell you about nutrition. They'll tell you to go find a nutritionist. They take one, if no, nutrition classes during their education. But they take lots of psychology classes. I wonder why that is. But the bottom line, no nutrition. So they don't know what nutrition does towards healing the body and causing the body to go into a diseased state. But we do. That's what I've spent 41, almost 42 years doing, dealing with over 16, 17,000 people now. And we've seen it by rote. We've seen it by experience, by looking at it. Watch people get better from all of these diseases when all they did was begin to do what? Eat better. So this is Dr. Franco Taylor. Thank you again for being here. See you next Saturday morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time with another medical moment. Until then, I love you and may God bless.